Hey folks, today we're taking a look at my top 10 favorite characters from Duel of Ages 2, the Master Set. Now there is a lot of characters that come out. I think there's 144 characters in this set. They might have added more. There's a ton of characters, and it was really hard for me to narrow it down to 10. And you may be watching this going, I haven't even played Duel of Ages 2. Well, I apologize, because you will probably have needed to for me to understand my reasonings why these are my 10 favorite characters. I like to play Duel of Ages 2 with drafting, so if I see these characters, I'll probably draft them. Here we go. Okay, first we'll start with Dirk Slade, the tough guy. Now, when I played Duel of Ages, the first one, I did a mathematical matchup of every character, and Dirk Slade was the winner in straight-up combat. And the reason for that is he doesn't look like much, but whenever he loses health, he gets +1 hit and +1 power with all attacks. And he can go all the way down, when he's down to 1 health. This guy is a beast. Now, of course, that's very dangerous, but he's also good at shooting, and he gets +1 react and stealth per point, but for combat purposes only. So as he gets weaker, as you hit him, in fact, you want him to get hit. Your enemy's afraid to hit him at all, because while not hit, he's not very powerful. But once he's hit, he's very cool, and I like him for that. Leo Penny is the gambler. Now, the gambler is the kind of archetype, like Dirk Slade here, for example, is the guy who, when he gets beat up, gets stronger. I always like that in games. Well, the gambler's one I like too. Now, this guy's really good at shooting and fighting. Not a bad character to use at all, but I also like it because when he wins cards in an adventure, he can basically risk them and have a chance to get another card of the same type, which is really useful. I mean, there's a chance that he'll discard the card and draw a new card of the same type. So you put one up that you don't want. You're going to get a card of your choice, but a 6 through 9 draw card, another card, very useful. He starts with cards, has no card limit. Just a cool character. York, the foot soldier. Now, I like him because, first of all, he's a real character and a really cool story behind him. But also, he's possibly the best ranged character in the game. I've always liked ranged combat here. You'll notice he has a 9, and then he's +2 hit during the fire phase, and he's good with the rifle. Yeah, really, that's just all there is to say about him. But you want a ranged character? You take York. Very opposite here. Brad is the slacker. I love the fact that photo not available. I've always enjoyed that. But I like the fact that Brad just ignores all his ratings in a challenge, and he simply checks his luck, and there's a chance that he squeaks through. So you can just use him to get a bunch of stuff. He's not that useful for winning a game. He's useful in a game for staying afloat. And he's almost impossible to hit. Look at his dodge and his stealth. They're 9s. Cracks me up. Also, because your opponent looks and goes, he's just not worth it. But Brad can squeak his way to helping your team win. Agent 911 is very similar. The bumbling idiot. You can see this is another archetype I like, is that people who just hear this guy, he has really bad stats. But there's always a chance that you check his luck on an adventure, and on a 7, he automatically amazes. And anytime someone tries to hit him, there's a chance that they will hit themselves, which I really like. And there's a good chance that they will miss. So the bumbling idiot, I really like this whole naked gun type character, Agent 911. Dr. Menmar, the mad scientist, also known as Dr. Jekyll, Dr. Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Oh, I can't even get that out. I like him because each turn you have to check your luck, and there's a chance that he is the monster or the scientist. Now, this can backfire because you can be ready to fight somebody and he becomes a scientist. But I do like it because when he is the monster, he's a beast, and when he, no pun intended, and when he's the scientist, he's very smart, and so he's able to be used all over the board. Now, yes, there's that randomness that you don't know what he's going to be at any point in time, but I don't care. Then we have Red River Roy. This is the kind of smooth-talking, almost maverick type of character. So whenever he attacks someone, he can just challenge them wits versus wits, and if he passes, they can't use any attacks against him. And if he amazes, he'll even steal a card from them. And he also has a shiny white outfit, which is +2 stealth, but not in a cavern space, so it's hard to shoot him. He's just kind of that guy who avoids combat. I like combat-heavy characters, but this guy avoids combat. He talks his way out, and he might steal a card from you on the way. Essentially, like I said, he's Maverick. All right, now we are in the top ones. Victoria, the Daredevil. On adventure, she can accept a -2 penalty, and if so, a pass becomes an amaze, and a fall becomes a FOPP. Now, that is pretty cool. She has great stats, and she can take that -2 penalty, and if she passes, it's an amaze. To me, that's worth it. I like that, being able to push your luck. Now, yes, if you fail, it becomes a failure of painful proportions, which is really bad, but I'm willing to take that chance. Not to mention, she has a 9 in honor. She's a good fighter, so she has good stats, so losing that 2 isn't the end of the world. It's certainly something I'm going to try. The Weinstein brothers, the Tinkerers. I really like these guys. One of the best things I like about Duel of Ages is all the different cards that you can use. There's so many cool cards. It's really annoying when you get a cool card and people can't use it. But these guys can use every card in the game. And when they take a card, there's a chance that it will, they'll lose it, which is bad. But other than that, the fact that they can use everything, their stats are okay, not that great. But as time goes by, they have no card limit. They're loading up on cards. It's all you do with these guys. Grab every card you can and go out there. You can turn them into armored beasts and machines. And my favorite character in the game is Joshua Jordan, the superhero. And I really like what they did to him in Duel of Ages 2. In Duel of Ages 1, he was one of my favorites because he could turn into a superhero randomly. Here you can choose to have him become a superhero. Normally he's just some loser, some schmuck here who has really poor special abilities, but you can discard a card to turn him into the superhero with some of the best stats in the game, really. He's just an amazing character, has a lot of cool stats, and that's why he's my favorite character. You can see with these characters, as I go through and look at them, that most of the characters have, they don't start out so strong, but they end well. That's kind of my thing. I like a character who's like, well, they're okay, but sometimes they're amazing. Yeah, that's what I like. That's why I like Joshua Jordan. That's why I like the Agent 911 and Dr. Memoir. I like these people who they have the potential to be the best characters in the game, rather than someone who's solid all the time. Although I do have a couple of those in here, like York. He's always good at shooting guns. But even then, he needs a gun for him to really work out well. And I just like that in games. I like the idea of, I can make something amazing happen. And that's why I picked these 10 favorite characters. Hey, what are your favorite characters? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.